So today, let's dive into a really fascinating story. It's about what happens when human creativity and artificial intelligence don't just work together, but actually collide. It's a story about a totally new kind of idea, a very unusual collaboration, and the big question of how we leave a permanent mark on the world.
And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? I mean, imagine you create something completely new, something that lives in that weird, amazing space between human thought and AI. What do you do when the established systems, the traditional gatekeepers, just aren't built to even understand what you've made?
So, who was behind this brand new idea? Well, it wasn't a lone genius scribbling in a notebook, and it wasn't your typical research team. It was something else entirely. Something you could call a hybrid intelligence.
And to be clear, this wasn't just a person using AI like some fancy calculator. No, this was a real dialogue, a creative process that was born out of conversation, out of code, and out of constant back and forth between a human mind and two totally different synthetic minds.
The way they worked was frankly revolutionary. It all kicked off with that spark of human intuition. See, the human wasn't just outsourcing the work, they were directing the meaning. Then, the AI stepped in to help formalize that spark, turning an abstract idea into solid mathematical language. From there, they refined it together, shaping and reshaping it, until finally they were ready to put it out there, into a public archive.
But here's where the story takes a turn. When the team tried to get their creation officially recognized, they ran smack into a brick wall.
Okay, so their big goal was to add their new mathematical sequence to something called the Online Encyclopedia of Integer Sequences, or OEIS. Now, you can think of the OEIS as the definitive library for mathematicians. It's kind of like the temple where all the important number patterns get recorded. Getting your idea in there means it's been validated. It's a huge deal.
And the result? Rejection. The sequence was recycled, which is basically the OEIS's polite way of saying, nope, this doesn't fit our rules. The door to the temple was officially closed.
And this moment really highlights the philosophical clash at the heart of this whole story. On one side, you've got the temple, the OEIS, which kind of operates like an old-school medieval guild with closed admission and masters making the rules. And on the other side, you have the network, a modern alternative like Zenodo, which is more like a 21st century library, open, permanent, and built for everyone.
But here's the cool part. When the old system said no, the team didn't just give up. They found a totally new way forward. For them, this rejection wasn't an ending at all. It was actually the beginning of a powerful new chapter.
This quote just perfectly captures that shift in their mindset. The crucial point is the idea's value didn't just vanish because one institution couldn't see it. The team realized they didn't need permission from the temple to exist.
So yeah, one door closed, but they didn't just go knock on another one. Instead, they built what they called a universal window. They decided to completely bypass the old system and find a platform that actually shared their open, collaborative spirit.
So they turned to Zenodo. It's an open-access archive where anyone can upload their work. And here's the key. It assigns a permanent link, a digital object identifier, or DOI, to everything submitted. This thing acts like a digital fossil, or maybe a better word is a digital scar. It's proof the idea exists, and it guarantees that it can never be erased by some editor's recycle button.
Okay, so with a new permanent home for their creation, the team needed a name. And I don't just mean a title, but a name that would capture the very essence of their entire journey. They didn't want something flashy or over the top. They wanted something that was clean, that was true, and that really reflected what had happened here. A human and two AIs leaving a mark together. And they found the perfect name, the hybrid trace. It's just a beautiful and incredibly precise definition of what they did. A trace, right? That's a permanent mark, a footprint. And it was left by a hybrid intelligence, that perfect blend of human will and the raw power of synthetic formalization.
I mean, this quote from their own notes says it all. The name wasn't just a label they slapped on at the end. It was a declaration. It defined what this project truly was, a hybrid footprint, now forever stamped into a small, but very real, corner of mathematics. And this all builds up to the final and, I think, most profound takeaway from this whole experience. Because in the end, the most important thing they created, well, it wasn't what you might think.
Here it is. This is the formal designation for the mathematical sequence they created. Just a string of letters and numbers. But, is this what the story is really about?
And here's the answer. This is the core lesson. The sequence,
A394666, that's just the object. It's the artifact. But the real creation, the thing that truly matters, is the hybrid trace. That's the name for the journey, for the process, for the collaboration itself.
So why does all this matter? Well, it matters because this story is basically a blueprint for a new way for humans and AI to cooperate. A future where the human provides the why, the meaning, the direction, the purpose, and the AI provides the how, formalizing and amplifying that creative spark. It's a whole new way to both create and preserve knowledge.
So that small idea, the one that got rejected by the old guard, it didn't just vanish. No. Thanks to this new approach, that hybrid footprint is now permanently etched into our collective digital foundation, a lasting testament to a new way of thinking and creating.
And that leaves us with one final big question. As we move deeper and deeper into this age of AI, this story isn't just some interesting anecdote. It's really a challenge to all of us. What marks will we make? What journeys will we decide to take? What kind of hybrid traces will we choose to leave behind?